Hey guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber from Kyuujin Cosplay, and today we are back at you guys with the spooky season because we are watching Midnight Mass episode 5.
Riley is either dead or a dead man walking.
I'm gonna guess Dead Man Walking.
A vampire or a corpse. He was lied to by the priest last episode because the priest, after dying and coming back to life, has found himself experiencing the changes in his body that make him, turn into the creature.
Yeah, and he saw Joe as a all-out buffet, something like that.
Well, a buffet, yeah, a buffet. Anyway, he drank his blood, killed the guy, and Keane, the woman, well, she saw this, and I mean, for some reason, she's explaining it to herself as it's fine. God brought him back to life. He's a sign. Let's use that as an opportunity. Then she found out that he killed the guy, and she was like, oh, fuck, okay.
It's fine. He was a sinner. It's fine.
And then, oh, you're allergic to sunlight now. It's fine. I'm gonna explain it away. Like, she can't possibly destroy the Tower of Control through religion that she's created. And this guy is at the head of it. He's at the forefront of this tower, of this little thing. So she can't just out him. But yeah, she's gonna cover for him. And meanwhile, he's gonna start killing more people because he's gonna need blood.
Oh, yeah.
And then he lied about Joe not being, on the island too early, and he caught the lie. And when he went to investigate, he got the monster right there while it was filling the jar of full of blood. And the monster, he's biting his neck right now. So yeah,
Shit went down.
yeah. Aside from that, Erin lost her baby, and she didn't just lose it. The baby vanished.
Yep.
So there's
Everything about the pregnancy. Vanished,
yeah, there's some
gone.
questioning there, so she'll need to look into that and start asking questions, because that's the thing. Everyone in this community is not and no one is asking questions when they definitely should.
No, because this is God's way.
Yeah,
So.
but I mean, for now, like everyone is seeing good things happen, but even the people that are seeing bad things happen are like, God must have a reason. And if they are doubting it, you got Keane with her speeches.
There is a reason, but maybe not God's reasons.
It's not a good one, yeah. So, I mean, faith here is starting to be dangerous for those people. We don't know what's going to happen with Riley, but we have a feeling that it's not going to be good. No. We have the theory that his dream is going to become a reality, where there is going to be nothing after the sunrise because he's just going to burn. So, which would be incredibly sad if you think about it. Okay, so this is where we are. Let's jump in this episode and see what they have in store for us. Go.
All right. Book 5.
Don't make us question what happened to him, please.
We should talk.
Oh, no.
I just don't like not knowing what he's. Rumor is he's been spending a lot of time with Miss Green.
Well, not yesterday at least.
Good for him.
No, not good. The makeup is less intense every episode.
Dolly.
Is
What's
it
up?
Riley covered in blood?
Is it? I mean, that would be a sight.
Okay, no.
Yep, she's out.
She's out and she's so much younger.
Riley covered in blood.
Could have been.
They wouldn't have let him go like this.
Joe?
They're gonna keep the mystery going. Is he dead? Is he back? Maybe he's completely turned already and he can't go out when it's sunlight.
Got it? Yep. The word passion, it means a strong and barely controllable emotion. Barely controllable. That's what Jesus felt when he gave his life for us, so that we might have life eternal. What a gift. Told so beautifully in the Gospel of John.
Someone's cut.
Means good
We're hearing a
news.
knock, yeah.
Good news. Jesus' suffering in this story, it isn't
At least I
simply
think we heard a knock.
necessary.
But I've heard a knock,
It is good. It is the price of eternal life. That
Is it
suffering
where they covered the
he
cross?
endures alone.
Yeah.
At the resurrection, he is alone. And then he has a few allies, and then more, and then God has an army. God's army. Now, make no mistake, it is a war. That's what an army is for. So, as a congregation, as God's army, how do we know how the fight is going? All we have, all God gives us, is right here.
It sounds a bit intense for a speech
That
given at church.
moral compass. In the army of God, conscience is standard issue. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
It's so easy. They're
It is
all
war,
like drinking his
there will be
words.
casualties,
He is a good preacher.
Yeah.
and we must be soldiers.
It's the type of
God
speech that
will
brings
ask
people,
horrible
you know,
things
into action.
of you.
Yeah, brings them to
Horrible.
action.
Just look at what he asked of his own son. God's will, while perfect, changes. God's will dictates morality, and as God's will changes, so does morality change. It changed with the new covenant.
Again, it
changed
kind of
Morality
feels like
changes.
he's trying to
And we
justify
must,
the
as his
stuff. Yeah.
army, you rely on that compass.
I did horrible
The
stuff, but I
gospel
feel
of the
it's
Lord,
right, so it must
so
be.
full
Practicing-
of horror is only good because of where it is headed.
Yeah, right.
The resurrection.
Again, justification of what he did.
It's like he's saying that we're not gonna be like me, vampire. Follow your own compass. Follow your own urges.
No,
This
he's
is-
saying whatever horrible stuff you have to do, remember that it's for a good
Wait.
thing.
She's
What's
not
wrong?
good.
Mom, stop. I don't want you going back there ever again. What?
She felt that this
is
was
not
wrong.
my church. That is not the man I knew.
It changed. She could tell because she remembers him. I mean, follow what she just said. I can't help but say that it's a good thing. Hey.
Where the hell have you been? I have been calling you all day.
Sorry.
Don't do that. Where were you?
Do you remember a few days before you left town? You wanted to take a boat out. You wouldn't take no for an answer, so we grabbed a rowboat. We rowed out. Smoked a pack of cigarettes, watched the sun come up. Will you do that with me now?
Is he still him? Like, I don't know. Like, he's not. I mean, this is weird. Like, we're kind of recreating the dream, but
This is exactly like the dream.
I'm gonna tell you a story, but you're not gonna believe it. I just need you to listen. You promise me that?
Yeah.
oh, we get to see. Okay.
How you feeling? You look a lot better. No, I wouldn't.
He's completely transformed. No!
Because I mean, he did die. His neck was broken.
Yeah, he died.
No.
I
I thought we had a chance, but
can't before that.
Who are you?
Listen to yourself. You know who I am.
he does have a picture of him younger in his room.
You need to see the marks in my hands. Put your hand into my side.
That's not possible.
Come on, we're past that.
Then how?
Same as
Yeah, same way your neck healed.
You've been taken back as well. Taken back to your best self. Hey, why did you come back here? Last night.
Because you lied to him.
I've been wondering.
He's seeing that as
Did
fate.
you feel a calling? Vocation?
Yeah, you were called here because you've been chosen.
Joe Colley's sister.
You lied.
I lied to you about that.
You can explain to him why you lied.
Complete and total honesty. That's my vow to you today. So, okay, Joe was suffering. And he was suffering for no reason.
That's not.
The accident, then what the community put him through. He was beyond repair. Well, it's a cliche to say that the Lord works in mysterious ways, but he does. I can testify to that. And he worked through me. And Joe Colley was called home.
You are
It's not
justifying
as
your
simple as that.
actions.
No, you fucking killed him. You and that thing.
It cannot be changed. It's done and cannot be undone, just like what's happened to you.
What happened to me?
Riley?
Dude, what was that fucking thing?
You have to calm down.
What the fuck was that thing?
An angel.
No, fucking hell.
I was there too. I had been restored. I had been made young again. I had been made pure again. And then, like Jesus before me, I died. And then I was resurrected, but I was scared and confused, and this drive inside me, this powerful will, and I felt the same way you did. My will became his will, and he moved through me, and Joe was taken, and I was sustained. I was nourished. I had no guilt. None.
No, because you wanted
And
this
knowing
thing.
that I should feel guilt, but accepting that I did not, finding grace where the guilt should be, I wrestled with that. I'm not hardly unique in this room either, am I? I mean, you've killed someone.
He's feeling guilt about that, though.
The guilt you feel, the remorse.
Yeah.
You feel that every day.
Yes.
Even though you didn't mean to do it.
Yes.
See, I killed Joe. I watched myself do it with my own hands, and I have no guilt. None.
Well, there's a problem
No
with you.
remorse. I have been spared all of that. How does that make you feel?
Disgusted.
Yeah,
How
me
does
too.
it make you feel?
Angry.
Nope. How does that make you feel?
Fucking angry.
No!
Yes.
Complete honesty! How does it make you feel?
He wants him to say liberated, you know?
He wants to justify himself.
He wants him to say, like, I want that.
Jealous.
Exactly.
No.
This is sick. Letting go of the guilt is part of recovery, but not like that and not for those reasons.
When that angel was ripping into my neck and my blood was pouring out onto the floor, did you join in? Complete and total honesty, I thought you said.
Yes.
Yes, you joined? Ugh. How can you be okay
How are things
with
going in
this?
here? Let me tell you, Monsignor was scared. We were all tested. But for some reason, Riley Flynn, God has chosen you
He was just unlucky as hell to
You.
be here.
to receive this blessing, and we
She's-
will not question
she's
your
so
will. That's all that's
jealous that he's been
important
chosen
right
by
now. You are
God.
being-
She's pissed that she wasn't chosen to be this new.
We are here for you,
Probably.
for just as the... You sit there, blessed among men, smirking when I say God's will. I'm frustrated.
I know.
Doesn't even recognize what he is being given, and I find it offensive.
It's immaterial, Bev.
I know,
He'll never have a normal life.
I know.
And you think he's lucky.
When supper was in.
Don't be obtuse. He who drinks from the cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner is guilty of sinning against the body and the blood of the Lord. For those who eat and drink without discerning the body of Christ eat and drink judgment upon themselves.
She is messed up.
It's okay, Riley. It's gonna happen.
For real though, if he doesn't drink, eventually he'll kill someone.
And great.
Now Holly's gonna feel about this.
Wisdom. Now you can go.
Just like that.
Just like that. The wonders that you will experience out there, you'll see things you never saw before.
I thought we agreed he should stay
It's all
inside
right,
the rec center.
Beverly. Not everyone is ready for the Lord's revelation, Riley. Jesus took care to show them enough, but not too much.
She's
Beverly
so
and
scared he's
Stuart,
gonna
William,
tell.
Dolly.
The mayor?
That's right. They've been blessed as well. They think you should be made to stay here, but I think no. I think free will. That's the ball game, wasn't it? That's the whole thing. I have faith in you.
He and her are so different in that there is no malice in him. He truly believes in what he's saying.
Choose to enter communion.
I think she's not that dumb, but she wants to use it. So that's why she's reticent. It's crazy the idea that they're painting such a thing as holy and linked to God and stuff, where usually this is the most unholy thing that can ever happen. You're no longer...
This is why I was wondering. In this universe, aren't vampires supposed to be known technically, right? Or maybe not?
I don't know. I mean, if it happens to you, maybe you don't, you know.
I brought you out here so I'd have nowhere to go.
The sun is gonna rise.
I'm not as strong as you. I never was. I want you to take this boat and row to the mainland and leave this place and never look back.
He was saying his goodbyes when he went to his family.
I knew you wouldn't believe any of this unless you saw. I want you to run. But I believe you're gonna row back there and do everything you can to try and save them. I'm just so sorry you have to see this. I love you, Aaron Green.
Guilt is gone.
Fucking Mike Flynn again. Always knew with his shows, damn it, horror,
I did it.
suspense, and tears and sadness.
I did not expect it to happen at episode 5.
Seriously, I was expecting something like 30 Days of Night.
Yeah,
Like,
we
he's gonna be this tragic hero and...
But I thought he was gonna help things out. Like when I had the idea with the dream that this is how it was gonna happen, and then he got turned, and I was like, "Fuck, okay, now this is definitely going towards the idea I had." And then he didn't fight, but then he made sure that someone knew, which is enough. But he was feeling the urge. He went to his family, he went to his brother, his parents. He had the urge to kill one of them, and instead of fighting it.
God's will to have a urge to drink and kill
We'll
your
talk
own
about
family.
that. We'll talk about that after, but like he's never seen himself as strong, strong enough to fight the addiction. Like he didn't have a purpose, he was lost, and this was kind of like the last straw basically. He saw like he was gonna kill someone, he couldn't be surrounded by people without feeling the urge to kill them. And he had killed someone before, and he was already living with the guilt. And the priest might be okay with all this shit, but he would not have been okay with this. So I understand why he's doing it. I just did not expect it to happen so early. And yeah,
I'm glad that at the end he finally was able to forgive himself for what
yes,
happened.
that was the most beautiful part of the whole thing, actually. Sorry.
Ronnie's dead.
Yeah.
Can you imagine when his mom or his dad's gonna find out?
I know.
And his brother?
Will they? They believe he's gone. Like, they believe he's gone doing his thing. I'm not sure. That would be the best, that if she could, if they ever find out the truth, that she goes and tells them what happened, so they can at least make their peace with that.
Damn.
But yeah,
But the thing is, the priest is trying to...
No, again, I just wanted to say...
Make excuses that if he's feeling no guilt because this is God's will and God's message.
Just wanted to say, like, before we jump into the priest situation, it's beautiful that it's the girl he killed that showed up with a smile trying to bring him, because, he basically made up for that. He did a good thing, and he's sacrificing himself so no one has to die. Like, he did the ultimate thing, the bravest thing he could ever do. Like we were talking about courage. Well, he found courage to do that and save people because he was gonna hurt someone eventually. So maybe in his mind, that's that was what was needed to be repented for what happened. So I love that he got to see that in the end. I hate that she had to see that. I'm not sure she believed truly what he was saying. Maybe she thought it was a double meaning or something. Clearly now she knows, and she has 2 episodes to stop this madness. Like he said, he wants her to leave, but he believes that she's gonna try and save the people.
But how is she able to convince them? Because they're so into this idea of God's will and God's way and the new priest, and you got Miss Keane, who's basically holding everybody on a leash.
Yeah, I know. She's weirdly enough, she's not the monster, but she's one of the most dangerous there is here because of what she says, because of how she manipulates people with their faith. Faith is dangerous when used by dangerous people, and in this case, it's exactly what's happening. We talked about how, people try to see a reason behind the bad stuff that happens. In this case, you were saying the priest was afraid of death and he was granted this, and obviously this is huge. In his moment of fear, he was praying and he was granted youth and eternal life, which he didn't know at the time, but still, it was crazy. He saw that as the biggest answer to his prayer he could have ever gotten. So yeah, of course, that thing must have been an angel. I'm truly believe he's genuine in all he's saying, which make things worse because I do feel bad for him a little bit. He's just that blind.
He is genuine, but he's changing. The mom said it, so he's not the same man.
Of course, but because
his
what he's preaching right now is no longer about religion, about love, about God being good, or anything about that. Is every time I hear him speak, ever since he killed that first person, I'm hearing someone who's trying, with his words, to justify to himself and to others, even though they don't know it yet. He's kind of trying to justify the bad he's gonna have to do, which sounds horrible if you knew him before, you know? And that's why I'm saying he's blind, and that makes me feel bad for him, because I feel like it's his faith ended up poisoning him. And it's becoming worse, and he's bringing all these people with him because they're over there, like, being like, yes, you're right.
All praise the Lord.
Exactly. He literally told them this episode, you know, all the bad that you might have to do is justified, because as long as there's, you know, basically saying the means, the end justified the means.
Which it never.
It's not, exactly.
Never.
That's not true. That's not true. The journey is more important. The means are important. I mean, whatever you do, you know, even if you have a good reason, what you do to get to that reason is what matters, because that's what changes you. And in this case, it's changing him for the worse. And this is why it's an interesting take, because every time we see stuff about vampires, about, you know, monsters and stuff, they are against God. They are afraid of crosses. They curse God. You know, they are the biggest enemy to God. They're creatures of evil. So yeah, maybe in this universe, vampires don't exist.
But I think it's mostly about the fact that technically those creatures represent everything that is tainted, impure, and when you since they cannot touch, cross, hear
but then
the holy words.
He can though, like, so he's seeing that as a good thing, which is, in my opinion, especially in this day and age with everything that's been happening over the years, to me it sounds like the message of this is saying, you know, religion is a thing, but it can be a weapon. You know,
it always can go with
the worst things when you put God on it, when you say it was done for God and stuff, people see that as justification. They see that as a valuable explanation for, you know, I'm doing this for the right reasons because I'm doing this for God. But, you know, you should stop and wonder, you know, in the name of God is not an excuse. It's the excuse you give yourself.
It's like when you think about people who are taking holy writings, no matter what religion, but they're turning them into their own belief or to justify what they're doing with their own interpretations for doing bad stuff.
So of course, like, we're talking religion, there are good things in there, good messages, and every religion, like, there's always some stuff in there that you can take and turn into something good. But you can also take those messages. There are words written on paper. You can take those words and understand them however you want. If you understand them by saying, you know, during the Crusades, I'm killing a bunch of people in the name of God, so it's justified. Anything can be justified if you say it's in the name of God. Then that's what they're doing in this show, especially Keane.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, God has done terrible stuff, but he's done them, so it's acceptable. Well, maybe you should start questioning God then, because God isn't perfect, like was the last episode, and he's doing terrible stuff then. If you let it happen, and it's not just that too, it's when are you going to stop justifying the bad stuff? When are you going to start acting against it?
Wasn't it breathing in the 10 Commandments, you shall not kill your neighbor, or you shall not
But then
kill...
if you do it in my name, it's fine. But then did he really, I mean, it's not about did he say that, did he not say that, is it in the Bible, is it not? It's about how people understand it. I mean, let's be real, like, people take stuff from the Bible and then they forget about other stuff from the Bible.
True.
They always take what's convenient for them, at least. I'm saying always, but don't get mad about that. Like,
Some
people
people
take what they want from the Bible and they forget the rest as long as it's fine for them, which is what's happening here. He's using, you know, this is by all means, this is ugly and this is bad. He's not going to feel guilt about it necessarily, because the first feeling he's going to get when he drinks blood is satisfaction, because he got to eat. You know, he's a starving person that's been suffering, and then he gets to eat and he feels full and he feels at peace. So that in his mind is a good thing. And then he doesn't feel guilt about it because he justified it as an act of God, and this is all he needs to keep doing what he's doing. But he's explaining his lack of guilt as a good thing. Oh, that if I'm not feeling guilty, it must mean that it's God's doing. It's because it's right. But then it's the contrary. It's just he's not seeing it that way. He's not feeling guilty because he justified it by God's, doing. It's not the contrary. And then, that's why I'm saying he's blind. He's going to keep doing this shit, and he's, turning people into an army now. He's giving speeches that really sound like a general going to war, trying to justify how, he's kind of like, the perfect embodiment of what the religion has told them.
I did say he was a good preacher.
Yes, and I mean, we've got resurrection, we got Easter coming and stuff. He's got stuff in mind. I'm wondering if he wants to turn them all.
Is he gonna kill them all on Easter?
The thing is, this place, like,
rise them back to
it
to
could
life?
go so many ways. Like, you could either do that, try and turn them all for the last mass for Easter. You kill them all, and they are all brought back as creatures, which could happen. Then he is also saying that you were there in that specific moment because you've been chosen. Then forcing them to be turned is not them being chosen. At the same time, it could also be, I'm gonna show you what happened.
He said many times, I'm glad that you're gonna be there for what's gonna come next.
Yeah, I mean.
So I'm expecting they're gonna try to make them chosen by God.
And how dangerous is this too? You saw the ones that already saw him coming back to life, and with the speeches from Keane, they all believe that this is for the better good, and they see themselves as basically sacrifices, willingly giving their blood. And by the way, I noticed that Keane did not give hers, all willingly giving their blood because they believe that their purpose for being here is to feed this creature that God sent them.
They are taking the words very, very literally.
They're basically
and they are technically figures of speech.
They're basically sheep, and they're going to willingly walk to the slaughter if no one does anything. And I mean, it was interesting. This episode was so, everything is becoming so interesting in the show. The fights between morals and the differences. Like, you got, for example, Keane versus the priest. Both of them very Christian, very, following their religion. But then one of them is truly believer, a pure, follower of God, who had to explain a few things, by saying, it's God, so he could keep going. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is, he's using religion to make sense of stuff, whereas she's using religion to control stuff, to make things happen the way she wants it to happen. That's the feeling I get from those two. And then you got the two creatures, Riley versus the priest, one of them who accepts, basically puts everything on the shoulders of God and justifies what he's turned into as faith and as, a good thing. And then the guy who wasn't following religion, who wasn't blinded by his belief, got to see this in a completely different way. And we saw through his eyes, what the priest was saying. Everything is going to feel beautiful. Everything is going to be different. You're going to feel life in a much different, way, but it's going to be amazing. And then what he saw in there was just misery that he had to end. The way they understood their situation was completely different. And one of them was a believer, and the other wasn't. So we get a completely different view on how things went for him, which is fucking sad. Never got to say, goodbye, never got to explain anything to anyone. At least he got his peace. Now that's what he was talking about, how he would die. The way he talked about it, I wouldn't even be surprised if he would have ended up killing himself in the future, because he was so lost and he didn't. The way he talked, everything about life hurt him at the moment.
I think that if he had stayed with Aaron for a long time, maybe he could have find peace.
Maybe, but then that's never gonna happen.
Not now.
But that's the thing. Like, he was given eternal life, and then life for him was already miserable. He saw, you know, there's a thing about immortality where we keep saying in reactions whenever it happens, you know, what's the point of immortality? Because the beauty about life is that there is death at the end. What makes life worth it is death at the end. Because
every moment counts.
Yeah, every moment counts. Every experience matters. And the stuff you go through is like, you live it 100 times more when you know that death can come after that. You know, that's why you feel the thrill when you go on roller coasters or when you watch horror movies. You know, the thrill is because you know that death is a certainty for everyone. So life is much more intense in that case. If you strip someone of death, life just becomes a monotone thing that keeps on going forever. There's no sweetness, there's no joy.
I mean, we never know for sure what one's gonna feel if that person got immortality.
At least it's the constant theme we see in the movies and TV shows that explore this.
It is. There's also the belief that if you are immortal and you can share that immortality with someone that you care about, family, friends, lovers, maybe it's gonna be more easy to handle, but
maybe more easy, but in the long run, once you have gone to every place, once you have been everywhere, done everything, tasted everything, when there's nothing left, what are you gonna do? Then time is gonna start passing. I believe for some people 100 years is enough. I believe for others 1,000 years is enough. Maybe for others 25,000 years. Who knows? But at one point you will get to this moment where there is nothing left for you in life, and then immortality becomes the curse. In his case, you know, life was already a curse technically because he was living with his guilt. He was living with the lack of purpose.
I've read something before and I really liked what I read. It said, live as if like there's no tomorrow, and learn if you got eternity. Something like that.
Yeah.
I really liked it.
It is beautiful. And it's true. I mean, this is how we should live our lives, you know, because life has an end. But in my opinion, I believe that the fact that there's an end to it makes this even better. You know, we enjoy it. We should enjoy it more because there's an end to it. In his case, unfortunately, he was in a place where he had lost all of this. You know, there was no sweetness in life anymore because he had nothing to look forward to. He just existed. He found a purpose. Well, weirdly enough, this did give him a purpose, but this purpose led to his death because his purpose was now, you know, protect the people, basically. Don't become that thing. He didn't see beauty in the monster he had turned into. He did see a purpose. Let's end this so I don't hurt anyone. Let's save Aaron. And then he found that purpose. He went out to sea. The sun rose, and then when the dream never went past that because he didn't know what he was gonna see, what was gonna happen. But then past that was acceptance, you know, letting go of the guilt. It was the girl he killed that welcomed him, and then he was gone. And Aaron is suffering on that boat alone, dealing with the trauma.
Oh man, okay.
Beautiful episode. Very, very fucking sad. And they had to put, again, the music in Titanic.
But it is a really great and beautiful music, and it fits so much well with that scene.
Again,
and with Riley's state of mind, so.
It fit perfectly. I never expected to hear that in a horror show, but again, I didn't expect them to kill the main character 2 episodes before the ending, but then it looks like he wasn't technically the main character. There's no main character. We're following all these people. His journey has ended, but then we're going to see the consequences of what happened to him next episode. So,
all right.
Thank you guys so much for watching this with us. We did cry. At least I did. I don't know about you.
I got teary-eyed.
Yeah. They did it again. They always do it in these shows. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
Yep, and if you don't, check our schedule on Community to see when the next one will be out on YouTube. So see you then, guys.
Bye.